You're good.
Okay. Hi there. My name is Bren Vanderswag. I'm the president of GutterExperts.com and founder of GutterCon, which is being held in just 42 days from now in Denver, Colorado. Leading up to GutterCon, I'm doing a series of live events where I'll be chatting with a variety of people in the gutter world, speakers who will be presenting at GutterCon, suppliers, and regular gutter guys just like you and me. We'll be talking about their businesses and how they play a role in today's gutter industry. So I'd like to introduce my guest for today, Meaghan Likes. She's the owner of Likes Accounting and co-owner of Jeff Likes Clean Windows and Gutters. Meaghan preaches to a lot of home service businesses all over the country, and she's especially passionate about helping small business owners find financial freedom. I'd also like to mention that today is our first time being live, and it took a little bit here to get to this point, but I see you now on my screen, and I think we're live.
We're totally live, and I'm
top left-hand corner.
Yeah, poor Bren. He's like sweating. He thought we were just doing an interview, and then it turned into a Facebook live tutorial. But we did it. I'm so excited.
I'm going to have to bring you in on the next one too, I think, to make sure we do it right.
Oh dear, what did I just sign up for? I am sharing it now. And if you are catching this live on the Facebook, to prove to Bren that this is super cool, will you just give us a chat or a comment or a share or a like or any of those things? That would be super helpful. I'm so excited about GutterCon. Like, I'm really excited about GutterCon.
I am.
But you make me a little nervous when you say 42 days. That's like tomorrow. In my world. I mean, because there's this little thing called tax season between now and 42 days from now. So I basically go into like a weird coma for the next 30 days.
Okay, so
actually 32 days. Who's counting? Whatever.
So
but I'll
probably
be recovered in 42 days. I'll be recovered.
So I know you've been doing a lot of traveling. So how do you fit that all in? Like,
I don't know. How do I fit that all in? I think I'm a little insane. The days are long, Bren. The days are very long. I'll tell you that. No, it's good.
Okay, well, let's just get into it. And I like this to just I like to kind of see a little bit. I know you and I have met once. We met down in Phoenix at another event. We had a blast playing
bowling.
Bowling with the big balls.
Thank you, Tommy Mello, for taking us bowling. Right. And we kicked butt. I mean, we really did. It was super fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. So we chatted a little bit, but tell me a little bit about Meaghan Likes and how you got to where you are. Like, how, you must have gone to school. You're a chartered accountant, I assume.
That's a very Canadian way of saying yes, I'm a CPA. So it's the equivalent of a CA up in Canada. I did go to school. I did not go to school for accounting. I grew up wanting to be an arguer. That's what I wanted to be when I grew up, otherwise known as an attorney. So I, in undergrad, studied French and history, like all good attorneys do. And then I fell in love with accounting. Yeah, je parle français.
Oh, I don't.
Okay, well, it's very stereotypical. I think Bren is in Brazil right now. I do not speak Portuguese, however.
That was supposed to be a secret.
Oh.
But in Brazil, it's Portuguese, nothing to do with French.
Right.
And I don't speak any Portuguese either.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I have a Brazilian wife who does all that for me. So
I'm sticking my foot in it left and right. Well, I have an American husband who doesn't speak any French either, but he's been trying very hard before we go to France again, hopefully in May, maybe in June at this point. Yeah, so French history, very helpful in an accounting degree. Grew up in a family of entrepreneurs, knew that the struggle with entrepreneurship is understanding numbers, like talking about money, understanding money, making profitable businesses. That seems to be the tricky part. So I fell in love with money, I guess is what happened. I traveled a lot through college. I called them sabbaticals because I was cute. I took many sabbaticals abroad during my university years, and after one of those sabbaticals,
worldwide, or just in the US?
No, worldwide. I was a nanny in Germany. Ich kann Deutsch sprechen auch. I was a first mate on a sailing yacht in Greece. I did a bunch of random things. I have had 60 different jobs for 75 employers. And my last job was 14 years ago. So I have done pretty much everything that you can do getting paid for. But my chosen profession, out of all those things, the things I chose was accounting. I love accounting. I'm an accounting nerd. I like money.
Listen, let me ask you, you said you came from a family of entrepreneurs. So what did your family do?
So my dad and stepmom started as insurance agents. Then they
Yeah.
went on to be restaurateurs. And then they went on
Yeah.
to, my stepmom owned a scrapbook store. I remember scrapbooking when that was fun.
Yeah.
My mom is a writer. She had a column for, oh my gosh, like over 15 years, a weekly column until COVID killed the newspaper, which is so sad. And she's written children's books. So they've done a little bit of everything.
Cool.
Yeah. And
So
I
you said,
married a man who spent a summer cleaning windows and loved it. And so here we are. Now we have a window cleaning company, and window cleaning is not totally year round. So then we have a gutter cleaning company. And that's, I think, how we ended up getting here to GutterCon, is the fact that
yeah.
I love talking about gutter cleaning. It's my most profitable service on my current service list.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about talking to other gutter cleaning business owners, because has there ever been a gutter cleaning convention? Not that I know of, not since
Well,
I've been.
not that I know of either. I've certainly been saying this is the first one. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I
I
think this is going to be the first one.
well,
So
I'm excited because,
there's a
like, with
lot of,
window cleaning and pressure washing, we find our people, right? And we geek out about those conventions,
yeah.
but I
I
can't
was
wait to
actually at a convention down in Florida a couple weeks ago, a power washing thing.
PWMCA,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
to be
that's right.
confused with the PWNA or the other PWACP, whatever.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of
there were a
conventions
lot.
in the power washing business for sure.
There are, and I'm excited to meet gutter cleaners, like, and gutter installers.
Well, I have to admit, when I first started down this path, I wasn't really thinking about gutter cleaners. And I quickly realized that, gutter cleaners are pretty cool too.
I like to think so. I like to think
Yeah.
so.
Well, it's a big part of it's a small part of our business, but getting bigger. And I've been telling other gutter guys how important it is on gutter installation guys, how important it is to have a gutter cleaning division, or at least working with someone who does that for you, because it brings in so much work for us. So I guess what I would ask you guys, or what I'd ask you, Meaghan, is, how do you deal with gutters that, of course you're doing the cleaning, but how do you get into repairs or replacement? Are you working with a gutter installation company? Like, how do you deal with that?
We don't.
Oh,
So that's what I'm hoping to learn at GutterCon, right? We launched a membership this year, and as part of our membership, we're doing inspections, but we don't fix roofs. We don't fix gutters. So all the things we're inspecting are potential lead magnets for us to partner up with a gutter repair company that would be interested in coming in behind us and doing those repairs or doing those replacements. So
and
I think there's a huge opportunity there. And this is the kind of stuff I'm looking forward to beating up with other speakers and attendees at GutterCon, is, how do we work together to round out our individual businesses and
mhm,
help improve the industry as a whole?
yeah, yeah. So when you said you started dating someone that was in the window cleaning business, your husband Jeff. So is that how your relationship started?
No, I actually
Windows or
pushed him.
what?
Jeff did not want to be a window cleaner. Jeff wanted to be a professional skateboarder or a chef. We call him Chef Boy or Jeff in our house. He's the number one cook. He's so good. And he was working, we met, remember all the sabbaticals in school I talked about? Yeah, we met during one of those in Lake Tahoe. We were both ski bums. So we were just bumming around Lake Tahoe, skiing and snowboarding every day, drinking every night. It was really fun. And we met at a ski shop. So we both worked at a ski shop. I was cashier, I did the money, and he tuned skis. That's what he did. And we both love snowboarding, and we love the mountains. That's like our happy place, specifically Lake Tahoe. And skiing, you can only do it in the winter. So when summers would come, he would go work at like Quiznos or Denny's or something. We were poor. Did I mention we were poor? Like really poor. But we lived in epic places. We could snowboard to work from my condo, and he had a private beach from his trailer park because he lived in a double wide trailer when we met. So we, yeah, I mean, we were like the legit ski bums. And in the summer, he had this buddy who would clean windows. And Jeff was like, no, I'm too good for that. Like, I always think of, a guy with a bucket and a squeegee when I think of window cleaners. And I kept saying, Jeff, I think it's really good money. Like, I think it'd be really cool. I think you should do it. And so he finally did it for one summer, and he got a lot of experience. Lake Tahoe has these epic mansions, like gorgeous estates. It's on rocky cliffs. And he kind of learned.
Can I butt in? Lake Tahoe, I've heard of it so many times. So where is it?
It's on the border of California and Nevada in the Sierras.
Okay.
And there are 29 ski resorts in the Lake Tahoe Basin.
Wow.
So it is like ski heaven when we aren't in a 1,500-year drought. We've only gotten 1 day in this year so far, which is a bummer. We still live pretty close to Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
But Jeff has traded in his snowboard for golf clubs because of the weather lately, it seems like. But yeah, so he started cleaning windows, and he did that for a summer. I ditched him. He ended up moving to Davis, where I needed to finish my school, because I did eventually finish my French and history degrees, which I use every single day. Not really. And when he moved down here, he found a job with another window cleaning company. And then we ended up starting window cleaning company. And then from there, he started doing gutter cleaning. And yeah, I feel like the rest is kind of history. It's been a really fun process to build something. We joke Jeff will be 40 this year. It's a big year for him. And he's semi-retired. Like, he works less than 10 hours a week. He takes a lot of time off, and we've built a lifestyle business that we love. And
Nice.
Yeah, we kind of get to set our own priorities these days, which is fun.
Well, that's awesome at 40. I just turned 50 this past year, so not quite there.
Congratulations.
I think I got another few years. So hopefully I'll learn a little bit more rubs off of you onto me, and maybe I can do that.
Well, I feel like we hang out with some really smart people, and hopefully we'll get to see some of them at Gutter-Con. Breakthrough Academy, Bren is a member, or was a member, and they've been very helpful in getting Jeff, out of the day-to-day of the business. And it's been really fun. And then Tommy Mello, he's just constantly breaking my brain and pushing me to new limits. And Tommy will be at Gutter-Con. I think it's Tommy's fault that I'm going to be at Gutter-Con. I'm not sure. And by fault, I mean, thanks, Tommy, for the intro.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's us.
It's you talked about smart guys, and they're smart, being around smart people, and there's a lot of smart guys in the gutter business. I think maybe people kind of have a stereotype about gutter cleaners, or maybe even window cleaners, or gutter installers, but there's a lot of smart guys I've met, like good business owners, and they run some big businesses too.
Yeah, there are some big people out there. In Breakthrough Academy, we went to their winter retreat, and this is not a commercial for them, but we went to their winter retreat in January, and I reached out to one of the founders, and I was like, we felt like, we were sitting at the big kids table, because we're a small business compared to some of these giant operations with siding, roofing, and gutters. The cleaning is, we've known for a long time that in terms of home service ladders, we're kind of towards the bottom with our cleaning company, but it's fun to see what else is out there, what opportunities and partnerships are out there, for sure.
Well, and I know Tommy's going to be talking about, growing your business, and, he's all about just getting big, 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 but, you don't always have to be big. You can run small business and a very small business, and run a very good small business, right?
Yeah, that's what we like to say, is we run a lifestyle business, right? We built a business that serves us, and it may look different than other people's, but it's incredibly profitable. It's pretty passive, and it serves a huge need in our community. So for us, that those were our priorities. And it's kind of fun to set out to do something and then watch it. We're constantly evolving, we're constantly refining, we're constantly learning. And I think we're going to hit some serious milestones this year about growth. How big do we want to grow? But I love it when Tommy and I end up on a panel together, because I'm like, well, here's this guy doing, he's going to do what, 150 million this year or something. And
Great.
Here's me, and I'm going to do like 1.5 million this year. But, he started where I am. So at some point, we all start somewhere. And I love that about conferences is you can rub elbows with people who maybe lifestyle business is your game, or maybe growth is your game. Like whatever it is that you're passionate about, you're going to find your people at these conferences. And yeah, Bren and I, we found our people because we were playing bowling. That's how we became friends, was at a conference
Wasn't
bowling.
even
So
I wasn't even
love
gonna go that day, but I did end up going, and I'm glad I did. I love that that bowling with the, what is it, five finger bowling is it
Oh
called?
yeah, I forget they were Canadian. I just forget this, but yes,
You get the little
I
tiny
think it's
balls. They're
only
about
three
this big.
finger bowling, but we could call it five finger if we want.
Okay.
That sounds cooler.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the accounting. So when did you start your accounting then?
Life's Accounting is in its 5th year now. So Life's Accounting Company is going to be 5 years old this year. That's kind of terrifying. And I've been in the tax world. So I was helping small business owners with taxes for about 15 years now. And I love bookkeeping. So for the past 5 years, I've been building up a traditional accounting practice and then burning it down to the ground every year. And I'm kind of at the happy point now where I do bookkeeping. So after the fact bookkeeping for home service businesses. And I found my niche. I've found my people. I've built a great team. I have a ton of awesome systems. And that is Likes Accounting now. We do very few tax returns these days. And it's neat because I feel like I can help business owners see things in their business that they can't see themselves. And I can help them interpret it so that it's just really magical to tell somebody like, well, have you thought about this? Or have you looked at it this way? Or have you considered this? Likes Accounting Company, we kind of hit capacity in our first month. We grew to a team of 11 in our first year. And what I realized was there's a huge demand for quality accounting services, particularly in the home service space. And so I created a second product called Bookkeeping Academy Online. And I think that's my passion project these days. And that's kind of how the speaking started, was this idea that I can't do everybody's accounting for them, and I can grow a team and I can scale. But what I'm really passionate about is helping business owners understand their own numbers. So that's where Bookkeeping Academy was born, was just kind of helping business owners look at, well, how much money am I making? How much money am I spending? And where am I spending it? And that's my latest thing that I do. So I go all around the country. I think it was like 10,000 business owners that I reached last year. And I try and, encourage them to get to know their numbers and get to know their money and stop being afraid of it, stop sticking their head in the sand.
So have you kind of stopped taking on new customers? Like you said,
Likes
reach
Accounting.
capacity?
No, Likes Accounting, we fixed it. So now we have capacity again. We onboard 4 new bookkeeping clients a month at our current rate. So 1 a week, and I have a good team that supports me with that. What we found is, even though I'm you said preaching, which I've never heard before, but I am the granddaughter to a pastor, very proud pastor's grandkid, I guess you could say. And I do feel like I preach sometimes. I get up on my soapbox. And so the more I preach about knowing your numbers, the more I realize that they don't have access to accurate data. And so there's a huge need for reliable and accurate and timely data still. So we've kind of transformed Likes Accounting to be able to support those businesses that need that help. And then I have a class. So if you're doing less than $1 million, I believe you can do it yourself without any accounting experience. And so I have a class that teaches people how to do it themselves. And that's pretty cool too.
I can only speak from past experience. I've been in business for almost 30 years myself, and I've struggled with bookkeeping all the time, right from the get-go. So I used to use a program called ACPAC, which was, do you know that one? Sage.
Yeah. I remember Sage. Yeah.
It was like that. It was like oh, what was it called? I can't remember. But anyway, it was something that it worked. And then then I started getting into Simply Accounting, which was by Sage, I think.
Okay.
And now I do QuickBooks Online, or we did
Yeah.
QuickBooks and now we're online. So, but I could never do it all myself. I don't think I could do it myself.
And the beauty of QuickBooks Online is automations. And I have lots of people in my life who remind me how basically the bookkeeping part of my work will be completely obsolete in the next 3 years. There won't be any need for bookkeepers because all of the bookkeeping will be done by robots and AI. And we see
Really?
that in QuickBooks Online. So right now, I work hard to show people how to leverage those automations. How do you set them up correctly so that they can work for you because they exist right now?
Mhm.
How do you set up the bank feeds? How do you set up the rules? How do you set up all of that so that you can get good, reliable data? And then I'm pivoting, right? So that I'm not replaced by robots and my team's not replaced by robots. How do we become the trusted advisor to interpret those financials? And that's been kind of the fun challenge lately is playing translator, if you will, taking this very complicated financial data and how do we translate that to help us make better management decisions?
So rather than focus on getting the taxes done, you focus on doing helping people with the day-to-day, the week-to-week, the month-to-month stuff, and then an accountant will deal with the year-end stuff. Someone else will do that. You don't really do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it's in Canada, but in the US, what we found is most accountants are very reactive. So you're craving like having this financial guru in your business to help you make better decisions. And yet they don't have any capacity to do that, to advise you or to guide you or to help you proactively. And so that's the role that Lex Accounting plays, is we can be on your team remotely and help you proactively. And then we'll let your accountant keep you out of trouble, right? They'll do the compliance stuff and they'll do all the reactive stuff that needs to be done.
Yeah.
I highly recommend having a professional CPA to help with the taxes, to help with the tax planning. But I believe that most business owners can do their own bookkeeping internally, especially if you do set it up correctly with my help.
Yeah. The one of the things that was always really frustrating to me is that we were always behind. I mean, by the time you found out you did good or bad, like it was too late to do anything about it. It was 6 months had already passed. You're like, oh, we didn't make any money. Oh, we made some money. It was just always so far behind. And that was what was really
I
frustrating to
know.
me.
The nice thing is I feel like COVID has given people an opportunity to get caught up a little bit. But I agree that that was always really painful. I would have people in my office and they'd be like, I don't understand how I made so much money. And so that's where this kind of started, was helping you understand how much money you're actually making and how do we save for taxes? How do we plan for the future? And kind of going through all of that. That's a very common pitfall. And I've learned that there's a lot of shame around money. So a lot of business owners, like if we go to a conference, it's very common that you'll be at the bar and, well, Bren and I will be at the bar. You'll be at the bar and somebody will rub elbows. I saw it. I did. Every time I see Bren, he's drinking. I don't think I should say that publicly, but
It's
true.
happy hour where I am. Like I know it's like 10 in the morning for you, but
I mean, it
I'm on
seems
the
weird.
East Coast.
It is 10 a.m. here, but that's okay. Anyway, you're at the bar and you're chit-chatting about business and everybody's really bragging about their gross number. Like that's what people get excited about sharing, is I gross this much. And why what I like to talk about is your net number, is like, but what about at the end of the day? Like, are you paying yourself? Are you planning for the future? Like, are you profitable? Are you building and investing in an asset that's going to serve you later?
Mhm.
And I feel like that's where I want to flip the script a little bit, especially in our industry where there's a lot of bravado. So yeah, that I think those are things that I'm going to be talking about at GutterCon. We're going to be talking a lot about money, talking a lot about finances, and talking a lot about what's important with finances. So the top number is not as important as the bottom number.
I agree.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I kind of focused on, oh, if we just do more revenue, we'll fix this, but it doesn't always work, does it?
I think it almost never works actually, because you're basically just creating a bigger mess. So you'll never outsell the problem. So the question is, how do we keep it profitable? How do we keep it right-sided? I grew very slowly with Jeff Likes Windows and Gutters on purpose, because I wanted to nail it and then scale it. And then we get into these years where you can actually really rev up, but those solid bottom line numbers are going to stay constant. And not totally constant. We have all these stages of business where you'll take a little setback on your net income because you're in growth mode. But for the most part, staying consistently profitable and continuing to pay yourselves as owners healthy salaries is been kind of a passion of mine.
One of the things that I'm not really active on a lot of the groups, but I do kind of follow, and I see a lot of comments on a lot of the gutter install groups. I mean, there's so much complaining about pricing, some guys just pricing it for so low. And then you listen to someone like Tommy, and he's like, and there's a lot of people that say you got to price high, you got to price higher. I mean, it's one thing that we've been doing too, is raising our prices, especially with you wouldn't probably see this in the gutter cleaning business, but in the gutter install business, the price of aluminum is just going crazy. In fact, just this month, we had an 11% increase at the first week in March, and at the tail end of March, it's going to be another 9%. So that's 20% in less than 30 days.
Well,
So I
and then we
mean,
have to
you've
put
got
our
to account
markup
for
on
that,
top of
right?
that. Well, we have to put our markup on top of that, right? In order to keep our numbers in
Yeah.
line. So if you're seeing a 28% increase in product, you need to be raising your prices probably by 60%. And when I say that, people are like, ah, but I think that it's crazy. So Ellen Rohr is a friend of Tommy's and a friend of mine, and she wrote a book called How Much Should I Charge? And one of my favorite expressions that Ellen says is, if you're not sure about your pricing, just triple it, and that'll buy you some time to figure it out. And I quote her all the time because it's true, and you just need to have confidence that you can sell it. And you have responsibility to have a financially stable business, because otherwise you're not going to make it through these intense times, these inflationary periods, these labor shortage periods, these I mean, I feel like we're seeing delays in getting our product, we're seeing price increases, we're seeing all sorts of crazy things in the past 2-3 years, and pricing is becoming more and more important to be priced correctly, and really understanding what are our costs and how should we be priced.
Right. So on all of that, I mean, you say you got to have your prices up so you can do this and this and this. I mean, one of the very important things to do is to letter your trucks properly, right?
Yeah, I just recently went through a very expensive rebrand. And Bren, I know where you're going with this, and you're not very nice. Bren and I were at a happy hour a couple months ago, and he insisted on seeing my trucks. And so I showed him, and I've never been embarrassed of my branding ever, not once. I owned it. Like, I'm an accountant. I am not a marketer. I'm cheap. I'm thrifty. I'm profitable. Like, these are the things I would say to myself at night. And I pull out my phone and I show Bren my van, and he dies, and he shows everybody, like everybody at the whole thing. He just, look at Meaghan likes his vans. You'd never believe how ghetto she is. Look at what she
Ghetto, I like
did.
that.
I don't like that. I wish I had not said that. I need a different expression. Look how cheap she is. And so he goes around and he's showing everybody my van. And we were at the same conference with Dan Antonelli of Kick Charge Creative, a brilliant mind, who talks constantly about going from blanded to branded. And so we went through a rebrand. It took about 10 months, and I feel like I'm going to joke and say all of my life savings, which is not entirely true, but it sure felt like it when we were writing all those checks. And it's been amazing. And that was another inspiration by Tommy Mello. He had a podcast episode with Dan Antonelli, which I highly recommend listening to. And then it ruined us. We couldn't work with any other creative company because we saw the importance of proper branding on a vehicle going down the road at 60 miles an hour. Like, you want to be able to see, what do they do? You want to be able to understand what's their name so you can remember it. You want it to leave a good impression. You want it to be distinct in your marketplace in terms of your colors. And Dan did a wonderful job. So we just launched that rebrand in January, I think, is when we got everything all
And
done.
are you all done? Okay,
We're just about done. We just have the website that we're buttoning up now. But it's so funny now, when I see my old branding, I have a similar expression as Bren did. I'm like, oh my God, it's like, get that away from me. I don't want to look at that. Get that out of here. I don't want to talk about it. So now I'm very aware of the branding that I was driving around with for many, many years, and how
how do guys feel about it?
They love it. But we did a couple things. So it's gutter cleaning. It's a winter activity for us. I know
You're
for
in
those of you,
California, right?
yeah, and I know for those of you, you're probably doing it year round, which makes you much smarter than me. But in the winter, it's still a little cold in California, and we did not invest in winter uniforms for our staff. We had like zip up hoodies and we had rain jackets, but that was it. And so we really, with the rebrand, invested in a bunch of really nice winter gear, beanies and fleeces and soft shells. And I mean, we really went all out on the uniforms, and it has upped the ante and upped our image so much, because now, even in the winter, like in the summer, it was easy. We were in polos with a hat, we looked branded. But in the winter, everybody would wear their own jacket and their own beanie or their own hoodie or whatever it was to keep warm. And so now I really feel like there's a lot of pride in that new branding, and there's a lot of pride in the new gear. So that's been fun.
We just started some uniforms in the last couple of years, and I look back and think, what my guys used to look like before, and it doesn't have to be much. Like, it doesn't have to be pants, underwear, shirts, hoodies, toques, caps. It doesn't have to be everything. I mean, just start with something, like a sweatshirt or a t-shirt, like you said, like, just makes such a difference, huh?
It really does. And as we've raised our prices, like our image now matches our price book. And I think before we were good about keeping the numbers in line, but our image didn't necessarily line up with that pricing. So now, Tommy likes to say, we show up in a nice truck with nice branding and nice uniforms. We're nice looking people. And it really makes a huge difference in how our customers perceive our value. And I'm excited about this idea of, as we're in an inflationary period, investing in marketing. So I'm investing today's cheaper dollars in future earning at higher dollars. And that's got me excited. I think that was an investment that's going to pay off many times over in the coming months and years. So I'm excited about it. Yeah. Well, this is fun. I mean, we could geek out about numbers all day.
Yeah, I know you can, for sure.
I'm looking forward to geeking about numbers in Denver. We love Denver. That's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good time of year to go. And my son and I are going to actually stay for a couple extra days. We're going to go to Breckenridge for a couple of days. So we're hoping that I was actually chatting with someone in Denver yesterday, and they were supposed to get a couple feet of snow in the mountains overnight last night. So we're hoping there'll still be a little bit of snow there end of April for sure.
Well, that's exciting. Yeah, we did a couple of weeks in Breckenridge last year, and it was amazing. Like I had not spent much time in Colorado, and I think we got to spend 3 weeks in Colorado last year, and it's a good place. Good
Nice.
stuff.
Nice. Okay, well, look, I want to thank you for spending a little bit of time with me today. And this is just a little bit leading up to, like we said, Gutter-Con in 42 days. It's not even a month and a half away now. And, I guess we'll just wait and see you there. And I know for myself, I'm sure for a lot of the other people that are going to be there, guys and gals, that they'll be anxious to hear you speak to, and hopefully they can go home with something and take something home with them and make some changes to their business.
I mean, I feel like that's my favorite part about a speaker, is when people say, do you remember in wherever you said whatever, and then it changed my business. However, like I love that part of impact, love that part of learning and conferences. And I'm looking forward to, if you're watching this, meeting you too and learning from you and your business. I know that there's lots that I could improve in my gutter cleaning business, and this opportunity to get together in person, live, and collaborate and share ideas, I'm super excited for. So thank you for organizing, Bren, and I can't wait to see you in Denver in 42 days. Wow.
Okay, well, super. And I guess this is new to me here, this live. How am I going to end being live?
You do the 3 dots, then you can say end.
Okay, that makes sense. Stop live stream, that would work, right?
You got it. We did it.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Meaghan.
You're welcome. Bye, everybody.